We just went through a once-in-a-lifetime stock market event.
GameStop surged again today.
The whole GameStop.
All GameStop.
GameStop. Whether you bought some stock in it yourself, whether you heard about it all over the news or through some friends, or even if you liked the store as a kid, the meteoric rise of its stock price is mind-boggling. You may have even seen billboards or airplanes telling you to buy it. So what happened? Let me start the story at the very beginning. GameStop was founded in 1984. Not that far back, no, when Reddit user, please pardon my French here, DeepF ckingValue took his position in GameStop. Back in September 2019, DFV, as I'll refer to him, set his eyes and money on GameStop, ticker GME, which at the time had a price of around $5.44. He put a little over $50,000 of his own money in call options. Quick little learning blurb here on what are call options. So calls are contracts that allow the owner to buy a share of a stock at a certain price. If the regular stock price goes above that value, you can then buy it at this price, sell it that one, or you can just sell the contract itself. But if the stock goes up, you make some money. Now DFV, he kept posting updates on his positions, and in November of 2019, just a few short months after he initially took the position, he was up to over $230,000, giving himself a 329% gain. His holding of this positions is one for the history books. It is an epic saga of prices going up, down, him losing and gaining money. This is what you would call diamond hands, my friend, when a stock goes up or down a significant amount, but you keep holding because you're so confident in your initial decision. Some, like me, have paper hands. When a stock goes up or down a little bit, you sell. This can limit some losses in some scenarios, but it also can limit huge gains. The GameStop stock price continued to go up and down throughout the year, but by year-end 2020, DFV had over $3,180,000 in his position. Crazy. Following this, the GameStop story that has taken the world by storm comes to be. January 5th, 2021, the stock price was $17.37. DFV was sitting on more money than most people will ever have, $2.8 million. It keeps going though. He kept holding up until where we are now. As of January 29th, the stock closed at about $325. DFV has $48 million in GameStop shares and options. So how did that happen? The insane 8-figure gain of over 4,000%. Well, you've probably heard or you're going to hear two words: short squeeze. Here's myself making coffee and explaining to you what that is. So, a short squeeze, huh? Well, let's put it like this. My friend has this $1,000 bag of coffee, and I want to make a few bucks. So I ask my friend, can I borrow your coffee for 2 weeks? He says, yeah, of course, I'm his friend, he trusts me. So I sell it for $1,000 because I think 2 weeks from now, I'll be able to buy the exact same coffee for $500, give it back to him, no harm done. 2 weeks go by, I go to buy the coffee, it's $2,000. I look again, it's $3,000. Why is that? 10 other people had the exact same idea. Now there's not much coffee left, everyone's buying. It go as high as $10,000, and I have to pay it because I need to give him his coffee back. Replace coffee with a stock, there's a short squeeze. There was and still is a lot of people doing the coffee thing, but with the GameStop stock. As of January 29th, according to a CNBC article, the short interest as a percent of shares available is currently at 113%. That means, as Reddit will put it, the squeeze has not yet been squoze. With GameStop, if and when the short sellers have to cover or buy the stock, people are thinking the stock price will go over $1,000 to any huge amount. I can't tell you because I am super paper handed. I'd say I'm like, in this situation, tissue paper handed even. I had bought 22 shares of GameStop at only $39, but I sold them, you ready? At $44. Still a gain. And how much would I have gained if I held? I don't want to think about it. I won't even do the math in my head. It's lucky the table is here so you can't see me kicking myself. This is not the first time there's been a massive amount of short sellers on one stock. In fact, there was a somewhat similar situation with Volkswagen. The Volkswagen stock was heavily shorted and there really wasn't too many shares left to buy. This led to a low supply and extremely high demand. This even, though only for a short time, led Volkswagen to be the the most valuable company in the world. On the day that short squeeze squoze, the stock went up to over $1,000, costing hedge funds over $30 billion. There's more to the story though than just the stock price skyrocketing. Melvin Capital, a hedge fund, which is an entity of pooled money from investors all over, they had a large short position in GameStop. That being said, they've lost 53% of their portfolio value. If my calculations were correct with the math they provided, they lost $7.25 billion in January. No matter what happens from here, this whole situation has marked the beginning of everyday people being able to make large changes if they come together. It was philosophical. That was big. As big as the story was, it got even bigger, even more stick it to the man style on January 28th, 2021, where Robinhood and other brokers barred the purchase of these securities. People were upset, lawsuits were filed, and I think pretty reasonably angry. GameStop had dropped from a high of $450 that day to as low as $132. Was that directly applicable to the barring of purchasing? Possibly. Is that legal? Can they do that? Was it just a ploy so that hedge funds and the big money could get out, save money? Maybe. We'll find out pretty soon here with all the lawsuits going through. These brokers said it's because of clearinghouse troubles, running out of money to give, and that they could comfortably meet their requirements. Do I buy it? Not really. See, this was kind of the nail in the coffin of the anger this whole situation represents at the stock market elite being able to influence the market however they want. Well, there you have it, folks. GameStop to the moon. Will it reach $1,000, $5,000, $69,000, $420, as some people think? I can't tell you legally or personally because I don't have any idea, and be very careful in telling people to buy stuff as it can come back to bite you. It will forever leave a mark on Wall Street. There's plenty of people that have become millionaires off this, and many of them have already given some of their earnings to charity, which is always a nice bonus. In terms of BlackBerry, AMC, Nokia, will those go up similar to GME? They could. If you like the stock and have a good feeling, you can definitely try those, but don't ever invest money you can't afford to lose. There's a very real possibilities of all these falling back down, so be very careful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Please subscribe if you enjoyed and want to see more. Otherwise, to the moon, everyone. Godspeed.